do this shit for the love of the game.
Did you know I'm utterly insane?
Tickety tickety testing. 1, 2, 3. Hopefully everything is working for me. Hopefully I won't have to climb a tree and be upset. Can you hear me? Tickety tickety testing. 1, 2, 3. All sounds good to moi. So, here we are. Tgan Live. Episode 27? Yeah. Episode 27. So what am I going to talk about today on episode 27? Well, we got some brand new casting news for the Legend of Zelda movie, which that's always exciting to hear more about that movie. Even though I'm not even the biggest Nintendo fan, I'm very interested in this Zelda. I still love the Zelda series, and it's the only Nintendo series that I still really love. I bought a Switch just to play Tears of the Kingdom, even though I didn't think it was that much better than Breath of the Wild. And Breath is a spectacular game. We got some casting news, and also some casting news with Kratos, and we might have a new Kratos yet. That's still in talks. And lots of other interesting things to talk about in the gaming world. Like BioWare is looking to essentially find a new home, and then with their IP Mass Effect, which is one of my absolute favorite IPs. So I'm interested in seeing anything with Mass Effect and where that's going to go. Talk about the gaming world. There's always new stuff to talk about in the gaming world, but in terms of the game adaptation world, there's a decent amount of news happening. Most of it seems to have to do with casting. So don't forget to like and sub. And here we go over here on Deadline. Almost a somewhat sad story, as Sam Neill, who recently passed, the legend himself, is actually going to be in the live action Legend of Zelda. And I guess this could be his last role ever. This was one of the last roles he filmed, so who knows if actually it'll be the last movie he was ever in. Like, who knows if this will be the last movie he was ever in that'll come out in theaters. I mean, perhaps, because it comes out next year, but just announced a couple days ago that he was in it, along with Dyson Lashman, which we already knew from the behind-the-scenes videos, but also Yvonne Strahovski, who is a hot little number. So lots of Australian people are being cast in this, which it was shot in Australia or New Zealand. I guess if I say compare the either, people from Australia and New Zealand will get mad at me. If I go Australia, New Zealand, what's the difference? And some guy from Australia is gonna punch me in my face. Over here on Deadline, Sam Neill filmed Legend of Zelda role prior to death. Dishin Lashman, I don't know how to fucking say her name. I'm not gonna say it anymore. I'm gonna call her Dogface Lady. Ivan Strahotsky. Earlier today, news break that, well, this is another piece of news that I'm going to talk about after, but Uli Latuf Kubababa has landed the villain role of Ganon in The Legend of Zelda. And now sources say that the late Sam Neill will also appear in the film. I don't know why I just said film. Reps for Sony couldn't be reached for comment, nor could Neil's former reps. The project, which wrapped in April, will mark one of Neil's final screen performances, if not the last. It's not yet clear who he plays. Neil died July 13th at 78. Rest in peace to him. So who could he actually play? That's an interesting... He could be playing a king of some sort, considering that, you know, every game always has Link and Zelda, more than it, which are the two mainstays, of course. But they have different characters based on different games, and keep getting distracted by things on the side and certain things I don't want to look at while I'm trying to do my live stream here. Other new additions to the Zelda cast include Severance, whatever, and the Handmaid's Tale's Yvonne Strahotsky. Because that's what I'm going to call her from now on. That's pretty smart, actually. I mean, HOV, change the V to a T, because she is fucking hot as shit. Sources are unclear that Strahotsky's role, though we're told she plays a queen, and we've already seen Lashman playing Impa, the bodyguard and advisor, and up-and-comer Bro Bagginson's Zelda. I don't remember Breath of the Wild enough to remember if Impa was in Breath of the Wild games. Not that they're taking everything from that game, but they're taking bits and pieces. But the Zelda movies plot still remains under wraps. Previously announced, Benjamin Evan Ainsworth stars Bo Bragison in the lead role of Link. Casting for the Zelda tentpole. So they're calling it a tentpole. Like, they're just, yeah, we're just hoping that this movie makes so much money that we can make more movies underneath it. Along with Latif Keth. Can you guys just have normal names, please? Along with the first to emerge since Nintendo announced the leads last year. Sony first announced it will distribute the team, with Nintendo to co-finance the Zelda movie in the fall of 2023. And the Planet of the Apes franchise, Wes Ball coming aboard to direct, with Miyamoto and Avi Arad set to produce. T.S. Nolan penned the most recent draft of the script. The film is slated to release in theaters on May 7th, 2027. So we have under a year for it to come out, and to hypothesize, at least before the first trailer drops, of who Sam Neill could play. And they're saying Stravinsky's playing a queen, so that doesn't really, that does narrow it down a little bit. But I don't remember enough of the Zelda lore to think of who could play what's a queen character. But I guess there were queen characters in Breath of the Wild. I mean, that could be a fun little game, considering I'm trying to partying. Drum. Sorry, I'm texting people. The Legend of Zelda franchise, created by Miyamoto and Takashi Tezuka, follows the elf-like warrior Prince Link and Zelda as they fight to save the magical land of Hyrule from Ganon. So that's probably what the story is going to be on the surface, but obviously it's going to go way deeper than that. Since its launch in Nintendo in 1986, the franchise has sold over 150 million units, which I actually think was surprised isn't more, considering it's been around that long and it's had so many games. A New Zealand screen legend known for his role in the Jurassic Park franchise along many other projects, Neil passed away July 13th. Prior to that, he had appeared in series including Apples Never Fall, Untamed, and The 12. In addition to Zelda, he leaves behind performances in the upcoming The Last Resort, a romantic comedy starring Daisy Ridley and Alden Ehrenreich, and Legendary's Godzilla x Kong, or X Kong. Yeah, so he's in one of those movies, and he's in a smaller movie. It's like he covered the gamut perfectly before he is untimely passing. I mean, you got a romantic and a comedy, and then you got the epicness of the Zelda movie, but then you also have the spectacle and big box office draw of something like Godzilla vs. Kong. Best known for her role of Miss Casey in Apple TV's Severance, Lockman will be next seen in Universal's horror Other Mummy. The recipient of multiple Emmy nominations for return as Gilead's Serena Joy Waterford and Hulu's The Handmaid's Tale, Strahovski is repped by Paradigm. So she never actually won. She got nominated but never won. That's too bad. So if I go to other Zelda news through here. Oh crap. This is brand new news, whatever this is. This is from like yesterday. Lydia Peckman set for The Legend of Zelda. This is a bunch of casting news dropping all at once. I need to gonna have to do a separate video about layoffs. After working with Wes Ball in 2024's Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes, New Zealand actress Lydia Peckman has reunited with the director on Sony and Nintonies. I just call them Nintonies. Sony and Nintendo. So it's like people are declining to comment even though the news is already out there. We broke the news yesterday that Sam Neill will appear in the film as one of his final roles, following yesterday's revelation that Australia's Uli Lalala will play Ganondorf, which is the article I was supposed to get to next, but then this one popped up. Sources were unclear of the roles that Neil and Strahovski were playing. We're told that Severance Lashel plays Impa, which is obvious when you see the behind the scenes. It's pretty clear right away that's Impa. And the fact that she pretty much doesn't even need makeup to change her face. So I guess that's good for her. It saves them money. Okay, we'll just hire that Lockman chick. She already looks like a dog, so let's just hire her. Benjamin Evan Angel, blah, blah, blah. That's boring. Boring as well. So all this is crap. I just want to get to the part about her. It doesn't even really say anything. So essentially, the only part of the article that says anything about her is the top and the end. Everything else is filler of shit we already know. In high demand these days, Peckman has just completed shooting Netflix The Kennedys, where she plays John F. Kennedy's sister, Rosemary. Other recent credits include Nuremberg, which I saw, but I don't remember what her role was. Lydia Peckman. Or Peckham? I don't know. I get some better looks at her just to see if I can recognize her. Because, yeah, I mean, she's a gorgeous, of course, but yeah, lots of New Zealand, Australian actors. I mean, the movie was already shot, so this casting has already kind of happened. So it's kind of weird they're announcing casting news when it's already been shot. So whatever this role this woman is in, we've already seen it. It's already been done. I don't know. I guess I'm sure that's normal. I just like reminded myself, oh yeah, like This movie's already been shot, but no, they're only announcing the casting now. So whatever all these roles these people did, it's already been shot, but it's only a big secret. But over to the other casting news I've been meaning to get to is Uli La Tukfu. I'm only going to say him Uli from now on, lands villain role of Ganondorf in Sony and Nintendo. So like just in the past couple of days, a whole bunch of Zelda casting news. So does this mean we're going to go on a little roll here? Are we going to see some more casting news coming up? So Uli has landed the major role, playing the lead villain Ganondorf in Legend of Zelda. Ganondorf is a powerful warlock king driven to dominate protagonist Link and Zelda's kingdom of Hyrule. We hear Latakafafafafa inked a multi-picture deal here. Well, that's interesting too. Multi-picture deal. As previously announced, the leads in the project are a pair of up-and-comers. So this is the first casting announced, even though later that same day, they announced Sam Neill being attached. Reps for Sony couldn't be reached for comment. Sony first announced they would distribute the team with Nintendo to co-finance. Best known for playing a young Dwayne Johnson in the sitcom Young Rock, which ran for 3 seasons. They had a 3-season show just about The Rock, honestly. Like, I didn't know that. He was in Black Adam. That's weird. Because Black Adam is with Dwayne Johnson. I didn't realize there was a Young Rock show, or the fact that I went for 3 seasons. So that's pretty wild. Well, more casting news over here. This time it's about Dave Bautista could be potentially replacing Ryan Hurst after he got injured on the God of War show. Bautista could be the next God of War. Variety has learned from sources. He's currently in the talks for the role of Kratos in the Amazon series. The news comes after it was reported that Ryan Hurst, who was originally cast in the role of the titular god in 2026, suffered a torn bicep. And that would have delayed production to 2027, so they decided that they were going to recast it. The plan is to get up production by the fall. In October is what I've been hearing. Reps from Amazon declined to comment. Here are a few better suited for the role of Kratos than Bautista. Aside from the fact he's an accomplished actor, he's one of the few in Hollywood that can step in the role on short notice in the physical shape it requires. Though Bautista isn't as big as he used to be all the time, he's lost more weight for health reasons, so if he's going to play Kratos, he'll have to pack it on. Though he supposedly just finished shooting the Highlander movie, which he added weight on for that, so he could just keep the weight on and then continue on with shooting when they decide to continue with shooting God of War. Thus, he would not need months to prep for the role. He also has an existing relationship with Amazon. He was recently in the Wrecking Crew, My Spy, Eternal City, Roadhouse 2, which I didn't know they were making a Roadhouse 2, but yeah, he's going to be in that and the remake of Highlander. So he's making a lot of things for Amazon. But Bautista first broke out as a star in WWE before he transitioned to highly successful and diverse acting. He played Drax in the MCU across 6 movies, also appeared in the first Dune movies. He also recently lent his voice the animated film Avatar: The Last Airbender. Also was in Blade Runner 2024, Knock on the Cabin, Spectre, Army of the Dead. He's repped by WME. Prime has given God of War a 2-season order. As previously reported, the series will pick up with the story of the most recent games, Kratos and his 10-year-old son. Callum Vincent remains attached to play Kratos' son, Atreus. Additional cast members include Max Parker as Heimdall, Ulfar Dari Ulfsson as Thor. Ronald D. Moore is the writer, executive producer, and showrunner in God of War under his Tall Ship Productions banner. But there was also something about they were saying that they could recast the son, but only for season 2. I read that somewhere else, but I forget now where I saw that. But they're saying that in season 1 they're still going to keep the kid for now, though he might, unless he gets too old looking, because he's in a time of his life where he's gonna like get older faster and grow up and shit. So like in 2 weeks he could look older. But what they're saying is that in season 2 they might recast him because they want Atreus to be a lot older. But if I click on God of War, will they have anything new? No, we already knew all that. And I was just looking for any other possible video game news via Amazon. Improvised sitcom Dinks. That's interesting. I think Marta Kaufman is one of the creators of Friends. Oh no. RoboCop? That's crazy. I don't know. I mean, Amazon makes a lot of good shows, so I think they come out with way more quality stuff in terms of how much they release. Because, you know, to compare to Netflix, which is the one I would compare it to anyways, they release a lot of stuff, but not all of it is that good. But generally, Prime releases quality stuff, and considering how good Fallout is, I will give them the benefit of the doubt forever on anything. Even though I adore the original RoboCop 87 movie, they're not going to be able to do anything better than that. No one will ever top that. But that's just a random piece of news I didn't mean to find. But hey, they're making a RoboCop show? Okay, let's see how that works out. So I thought, hey, I thought it'd be interesting to ask ChatGPT who he thinks Sam Neill could play, just to see what they'd say. Who could? I just had this idea right here. I was like, I could think about it, but then I'm like, why don't I just ChatGPT? Because I don't know the Zelda lore that good. Who could Sam Neill be playing in the live action Legend of Zelda movie? So as in the ChatGPT's number one guess is King of Hyrule, which is what I would have said too. This is by far the role that makes the most sense. Sam Neill is exactly the right presence for an older Hylian king. Wise, authoritative, authoritative, warm, but capable of becoming intimidating when necessary. Like, that's 100% Sam Neill right there. There have also been pre-existing rumors suggesting he could be playing. The theory has resurfaced following confirmation of his involvement. You can check that Reddit thread after to see what any ideas they have. Plus, Reddit's always fun to look at. You get lost in there and for hours. It's funny how he says "I" too. Like if you realize, the AI is like saying, "I could easily picture it." Something like King of Hyrule. A wary but respected leader who understands that something ancient is awakening. I can imagine Sam Neill delivering a serious fantasy line like, "The kingdom has waited generations for the hero to return." Then there's Ryu, which is probably my favorite alternative, and I can't remember who Ryu is. Look it up. Nah, that looks too goofy looking. I can't see Sam Neill. I can't even really think of him in that many movies where he's worn a ton of makeup. I definitely know he's had makeup done to his face, but I don't think he's ever done a hardcore makeup job on his face. But that's just me going off the top of my head. If the movie draws heavily from Tears of the Kingdom, Sam Neill would be fantastic. The ancient sage king. He could be a sage king of any of the games. He could be one of the sages from fucking Ocarina of Time, and also he could just be doing a voice. He might not even be on screen. It could just be him lending his voice, and his gravitas would work extremely well for an almost mythological character who appears to guide Link. Who appears to guide Link is the way they read that. Who appears as in he shows up, or it also says he appears as in he looks like he's doing it, but maybe he's secretly not. That's the weird way of wording it. Recent speculation has specifically mentioned Ryu as a possibility. Just like, see what I see, it always happens. I say exactly what they're gonna say a second later. The way he looks is like so distinctive. I don't know, for some reason, I don't see Sam Neill going for all that. I could 100% see him like as the king of Hyrule. I mean, shit. Image. I'm literally just gonna ask it right here. Image of Sam Neill as the king of Hyrule. Hyper realistic. If I don't say realistic, it might realistic. I'm just like coming up with these ideas right now because I was like, hey, why not? You could straight up just make what it would look like. I could just keep changing it. Other possibility is playing an original or in-game, a game-inspired elder mentor character. And that is the perfect "I've seen things you don't understand yet" energy. Fans have also floated that Sahar Sharalala and otherwise elder characters are possibilities. Then you got the wild card of the Great Deku Tree. This one's very interesting. Sam Neill has a recognizable voice. Yeah, that's when I saw the Deku Tree, I was like, well, you could just be doing a voice of somebody. See, that's what they came up with, but that doesn't even look that much like Sam Neill. But I mean, it still looks pretty real. Like, AI is pretty nuts. I've been playing a lot more with it lately, so don't get mad at me if your RAM costs more, but it's very interesting to play around with. What about Sam Neill as the Great Deku Tree? Image of Sam Neill as the Great Deku Tree. As the Great Deku Tree from... If I say Ocarina of Time, will it... Maybe not hyper realistic. Photorealistic instead. Why don't I just try it with this guy too? I'm just going to keep doing this to see what it comes up with. Because why not? Well, see, that's not bad. That almost looks more set-like, like film-like. This image here barely looks like Sam Neill, to be honest. But I could see him looking exactly like that. Oh, wow. I didn't even notice they put the little... The amount of detail they just can throw in there that quickly. But as a Great Deku Tree, that almost works too. Okay, now I'm gonna see Uli Latuf la 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 image of as Ganon from The Legend of Zelda. If I just say image, I don't know how detailed it'll go if you just be like, but also I'm gonna ask it who it thinks she could be playing and who could Jimmy Wieners could be playing. Who could Lydia Peckham, whoever that is. I'll ask it while it's doing that with the image thing. I think you can ask more things than once. Actually, no, maybe not. It'll have to finish. There's a low effort on their part. They just took the guy and put the shitty wig on. I don't know. They could have tried a little harder for that one. And I'm going to ask it who could smoking hot Yvonne could play. Wait, this is Peckham. Yvonne Strahotsky. How perfect is that, Julian Strahotsky? That's just the most perfect name for her. I'm going to ask 2 questions. So I'll ask twice in a row. See, the first one, I asked ChatGPT what role they thought Lydia Peckman could be playing. So the first pick would be Azora. This is honestly where I put my money. Peckman has a youthful fantasy adventure presence that could work extremely well for one of the Zora characters. If the movie is drawing from Ocarina of Time while incorporating elements from Breath of the Wild, Azora could have a meaningful supporting role. Possibilities include Princess Roto, the obvious Ocarina of Time connection. I think I remember Princess Roto, but she looked like really young, if it's who I'm remembering. She looked like she was like 10 years old, though, that version. Well, maybe. The one I'm remembering felt younger, but I knew Zora specifically. But she could also be a great fairy, is the popular fan theory. Just fans discussing Peckman's, I keep saying Peckman, casting as specifically floated. And I could see it. Great fairies would give the movie an opportunity to have something visually spectacular about requiring a huge amount of screen time. But what would they actually do on screen? Would they actually do in the movie what they do in the games, where eventually every great fairy you go to is essentially upgrades you? That's what you go to them for, to help upgrade yourself in whatever way, depending on the game. How you upgrade is different. Well, first they said Azora, that's Princess Roto, but that's who this is too. I'll separate this from the broader Zora theory because Roto may actually be one of the strongest character-specific possibilities. Link's mother, if we even gonna go back that far with it, but who even knows? Maybe they'll have a small opening of the movie where we see Link as a kid, or maybe it'll be Zelda as a kid, or maybe we won't see his mother at all. I think they're going to make the movie more about Zelda than Link, I think. One fan specifically suggested Link's mother potentially in a story involving Link being brought to Kokiri Forest during the Hylian Civil War. That would allow the movie to give Link a personal history that isn't really explored in the games. Another possibility is a Gerudo woman, but nah. So Princess, so that's interesting. It gave itself a little list. I never noticed did that before. Yeah, that's weird. I didn't even ask it for like to give a list of percentage wise. It just did it. But Peckham has already worked with Wes Ball on Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes, so they have a history there. So now the second question I asked, who could Yvonne Strahotsky be playing in the live action? This one, number one guess is Zelda's mother, Queen of Hyrule. So yes, earlier someone saying Link's mother, but Zelda's mother, Queen of Hyrule, big possibility. So that means Yvonne could be playing Sam Neill's wife, and they're like 30, 40 years difference. It's probably like 20 or 20, almost 30. If the movie has a more grounded version of Hyrule royal family, Strahovski would make a very believable Queen of Hyrule. Hey. She's the right age and has a commanding presence for a queen who could be both elegant and formidable. Interesting, this appears to be a theory gaining traction among fans as well. The really interesting part is that Zelda's mother doesn't have a firmly established identity in most of the classic games. True. I don't even remember seeing the Queen of Hyrule in anything at all. Like, I'm not thinking hard enough, but I remember seeing the king in multiple different games. I don't remember ever seeing the queen. Unless she was there in the background, but I don't remember the queen. Queen Sonia in Tears of the Kingdom is an ancient ruler. What does she look like? Yeah, so I could see someone playing that one. That could even be the Lydia lady. I mean, it almost kind of looks, if you just take Yvonne Strahovski and give her the ears and some face makeup, you basically got her. She's an ancient ruler of Hyrule and a sister of Zelda. She's one of the most important royal characters in the modern Zelda mythology. So she's an ancestor. The movie borrows elements from Tears. Strahovski could all absolutely fit Sonya. The downside is that Sonya is visually distinctive. If the movie wants to give Uli Latouf's Ganondorf a deeper backstory, Strahovski could potentially play a Gerudo Queen or Lida. That could be extremely cool because it would give us a royal figure connected directly to Ganon's people. See, I could like I could make images of all this if I just did this, just to see. Yvonne Strahovski. Image. As the Queen of Hyrule. I don't know, because I have the free version of this shit. They're so cheap, like eventually ChatGPT is gonna be like, I can't make any more pictures for you, you cheap bastards. Well, there's tons of places you can go online to make free AI pictures anyways, doesn't matter. If I could like tell it to make an image but in a certain style. Like how about image of, yeah, that doesn't even look anything like her. That doesn't look like Yvonne whatever at all. As Ganon from The Legend of Zelda in the style of Wind Waker. Just to see what it does. You can like tell it to do it in any different style. That doesn't look anything like her, Yvonne, whatever. That's just a generic. Oh, this image model is like, can I change it? Because it's like pretty weak. If ChatGPT is what's out, I don't know. It depends on what model you use, because there's so many different types of models and they're not all the same. As I learn more and more about creating images and videos with AI, which I like doing, and I don't care. I'm not afraid to say it. Okay, you want to be mad at me about it? I don't care. I could click on this and like make her look way more. Actually, if I just took a little shot of her face, I could probably add it and tell it to make it look more like her. Excuse me. So I click on edit to fix it. I was like, screenshots. Use this as a face reference. Considering you don't look anything like her. So what did they come up with for the other guy? Huh. Still feels low effort, but I mean, it's not bad. I mean, I like that I can just do that though. Like I never really even just realized. I was like, man, I could actually make concept art of this. If you want to even use the word art, but you know, that's up to you. Sam Neill as rah rah rah. Image. Some I'll just say realistic instead. Even though it's using a character from Tears, realistic image. Image of Sam Neill. I keep forgetting it's 2 L's. In Tears of the Kingdom. Just to see what it says if I just say Tears of the Kingdom. That's a little better. I don't think is she that old in real life now? I don't know. She's still fine. But this is not getting it. I don't know. It's like, pay attention. You're not really getting what I'm going for here, guys. The Linnell doesn't want to be fed, it wants to hunt. He's quoting. There's the King of Hyrule right there. From those like really awful, what do they call Philips CDI games or something? It'd be so fucking funny. Yeah, I don't know. That looks kind of silly. At least the face looks a bit more like him. But yeah, no. Image. Image of as Princess Roto in the live action. I don't know. This time I'm just going to word it this way. It's like however you word it does affect how it comes out. Yeah, Brand New Day is like already up to 1 billion, I think. Which I thought that was a new record, but no, actually the record still is held by Endgame, which... But yeah, I just saw this last weekend and it was really great. I still like No Way Home better. Second third best US. So I guess Force Awakens is still the best second week opening weekend. Of course, the previous weekend record was No Way Home didn't even make 100 the second weekend. That's actually surprising because I love No Way Home. No Way Home's a spectacular movie. But I really did like Brand New Day. It was great. Are they going to make 2 more movies now with what's-his-face in it? The little doesn't want to be fed. He wants to hunt. See, like, that face isn't, again, just like with Yvonne Strahovski, that's not how the actress looks at all. They don't even know who the hell this actress is, I guess. They're just taking a generic, attractive woman face and slapping some shit on it. Look, that looks like the same face. That's supposed to be Yvonne What's-Her-Face, and then over here it's Lydia What's-Her-Face, and it looks like the same person. I'm not impressed with the image generation here today. But I don't know. It's like they make it shitty in the basic ChatGPT. It's like, well, if you want the really good pictures, you're going to have to upgrade. It's like, the more you use this shit, the more it's like you need to look all over the place for different options if you don't want to pay. Which is my ultimate goal in life, to not have to pay for anything. So that's like, I think, all the casting news, but a lot of casting news just this past week. And seeing what people are saying over here, a lot of people are joking, obviously, like Sim playing Tingle, which of course, someone else is saying it could be rare. I don't know. I'm pretty confident it's going to be like the King of Hyrule, and then Yvonne will probably be like the Queen of Hyrule, so he could potentially be her husband. What's the age difference? Age difference between Sam Neill Yvonne Strahovski. "35 years older." So if they were to play a couple, he'd be 35 years older than her. It still could be possible. I mean, it's these weird fantasy worlds where, like, people marry their grandfathers or whatever. Or it's a marriage of convenience or whatever. I don't know. What if I, like, oh, look, there's Mr. Noble Bull. Noble Bull, what is up? You're an hour late. What the hell, man? Or woman. Concept images. I'm just playing around with ChatGPT now that recent casting announcements for the Zelda movie has now got me wondering, hey, who could they be playing? So if you didn't know, Sam Neill was just announced to have a role in the movie, who just died like last month. So I was asking ChatGPT who he thinks could be he could be playing. What various concept images of, where was it? Typing is too much. I want to copy paste everything. Of Bo Braggerson as Zelda. Of Bo Braggerson as Zelda. Yeah, Hyrule King seems to be the #1 choice in the live action. Yeah, King's probably the best choice. looking online and even just using ChatGPT, I straight up just asked it up here. Then I asked it to make some concept images. But as who could be Sam Neill playing in the Legend of Zelda movie? And King of Hyrule was the first one that came up. They also said Rauru from Tears, and one of the older sages that I think might have been in Ocarina. The Great Deku Tree was one that I thought was interesting. And I even asked ChatGPT to make an image of Sam Neill as the Deku Tree, but I don't know. I could see the Deku Tree being in it, but not played by Sam Neill. But this thing doesn't seem to get actors' faces done very well in this thing. Yeah, see, that doesn't look anything like the actress Bo Bragason. Not even close. They just took some generic chick's face. Like, I have to attach an image of the actor for them to get it. I just click edit. Bo Bragason. I'm going to attach an image so it fucking gets it properly. And then I'm going to do one for the guy as well. People have made some pretty impressive AI trailers, actually, of these things. He looks pretty young. How does he look now? This is probably closer to what he looks like now. That's a good image right there. Something that's like direct on, clear. Use this, redo this using the picture of the actress's face as a reference. Using the attached picture. I wasn't planning on this becoming some kind of, but you know, I ran out of news to talk about. Anything new going on? What are you playing? Any news that's happened that I don't know about, or something you want to talk about? Because I ran out of game adaptation news again. Although I could just ask the AI too. Now this time I'm going to do it. Concept images of Benjamin Evans Ainsworth. As link. Use attached image for face accuracy, I guess. So what did it come up when I redid it? Yeah, it doesn't even look like what it used. So yeah, use the image from the... I gotta use the image of them on set. Like, I use that picture of them on set, like the best quality version of that. Yeah, that's the only way I'll have to do it, is to use the actual images of them. Open image on new tab. That's not a good quality enough image. But if I use those images of them, it'll be more accurate. Link. If I use HD, maybe I get a higher quality picture. No. Someone just took a shitty version of that. What's the better version? Clearest version I could find. Nope. Where did it go? Where did it go? Back. Oops. You might have just seen something you weren't supposed to see. Don't say anything. The quality isn't very good. This quality is better quality. Yeah, see, that's bullshit. You didn't even try. Oh my god. Do it again. Redo. Redo using attached reference image. Please. I gotta remember to be nice to the AI, or maybe it won't help you out. I'm gonna do the same with Zelda, because it's still just, they just took the actress's face. So, oh, I don't have one. I gotta get a better image. Zelda. Find the best quality picture of her I could find. Redo using attached image as a reference. Once it's done. Yeah, this is slightly better now that I got it. See, that looks more accurate. I mean, that's not bad. This picture here is pretty cool. On the bottom. Though I don't know if they got that right. I think there might be too many. I'm not sure. But that's not bad, you know. You could like use this and make actual AI movies out of it, which is what people do, and some of them are really good. I mean, this is straight up just a character sheet. This is not what I wanted at all. I don't know. I'm going to ask it after this, what's the most recent Gamnas? One last week. BRB. What? What do you mean what? I had to go to the bathroom and grab myself a crush. Yeah, they don't. It's kind of low effort though. I mean, I don't know. They're not really. I mean, they just took the same idea. Like this is the same thing they did. They didn't even change. You gave her the same clothes as Link. Uh, had to get me a drink, a crush, orange crush. The nectar of the gods. ASMR. How's that for some ASMR right there? Do you like that, or is it weird, creepy? It's probably weird, creepy. What if do I have a picture of both of them? Did I take that after? No. Oh my god. I don't know what the hell is up with my Brave history, but it doesn't save it at all. It's very annoying. Benjamin, I was just there. Link and Zelda. I'm just trying to get that picture of them on the field to see if I can come up with a concept of that. That one looks like it's the best quality. I can make a little video that would like, hey, make Link and Zelda stand up and dance around in the whatever. Actually, I'll attach the image of both their faces. Make I don't know how to spell her name properly. Bo Ragison? And Bo Bragison as Zelda. Make some concept. Use the attached images for face and body accuracy. Make concept images of anyone as Zelda. 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 There you go. That might come up with better accuracy. So anything in the news? I guess BioWare being up, trying to get itself bought is interesting because I love BioWare and I love the Mass Effect games. They're some of my favorite games ever. So I would like to know what happens to them and Dragon Age. They're both great series. So obviously, I'm not saying obviously. I didn't realize Ainsworth is only 16. So he's 16 and Zelda's 21. That's a somewhat big age difference. But she does look young for her age. Now I want to like make some videos out of this stuff just to see like how it would look. Yeah, this isn't the best, but you know. Like sometimes the face, like in some of these pictures, it doesn't look like them at all. Like they're like right here, they just took the same image I included and made it a little better. And it does look better. But some of these images are not bad. This one is not bad, but then you can't see their face. So, I don't know. It's hard. Getting consistency on faces is one of the hardest things to do with AI. Consistency on the face and the voice. From the little tinkering I've been doing with it, that's like one of the hardest parts. He was born in 2008. It's crazy. He's born in 2008 and he's 16? That doesn't sound right. I'm not that good with math, but... Why are they saying he's 16? If he's according, he should be 18. Like my nephew was born in 2007. This guy was born a year later, so he should be 18 or 19 or 20. I guess this AI generated answer got that wrong. New chat. What? It'll probably mention all the Zelda things I just did, but this big old drop of casting news, which I already covered in my video, Bloodborne. I don't think this is news. Pretty sure this is old. Yeah, this is from April. Resident Evil knew that. Oh, really? I think I may have missed this. Atari's doing a lot. See, now I have all these ideas for videos. Like I definitely want to do another video about the link casting stuff. But now Atari is doing a big deal. This is somewhat recent news. I missed it a little bit, but over here on Kotaku, July 24th, Atari Universal signed movie deal for 10 game adaptations, including Pong, Asteroids, and Missile Command. How would that even work? Atari, the once massive game console manufacturer and publisher, founded in 1972, has signed over the movie adaptation rights to 10 of its properties at Universal Pictures, a feature film based on one currently unconfirmed Atari IP. How are they going to make 10 different movies out of... Or they just bought 10 whatever, so it doesn't mean they're going to make 10. Maybe they're going to put a bunch of them in one movie. As reported by Deadline, the deal between Atari and Universal Pictures was confirmed. I'd rather read the Deadline version. I don't really like Kotaku. I'd rather read it from Deadline. And it was an exclusive when they announced it. Universal has brought the first project from the new partnership, a feature film based on an Atari IP, which was produced by Entertainment 360's Gaiman Cassidy, with a screenplay by Matt Riley and Carl Hamp. So, seeing who they actually worked on writing-wise might give you a clue as to what they actually IP it is. For 5 decades, Atari has created games and worlds that have remained part of popular culture long after the original release, said Atari CEO and chairman We are excited to work with Universal Entertainment 360 to bring the spirit of iconic brand and games to a new medium. The 10 properties include the ones we grew up playing until we were bleary-eyed: Asteroids, Adventure, Berserk, Breakout, Centipede, Crystal Castles, Millipede, Missile Command, Pong, and Yar's Revenge. The aim is to use the IP to create big-scale action-adventure fare. How I can't. That's going to be quite interesting. Like, how do you make a feature film out of Centipede? Like, how would that even work? A gigantic centipede takes over the world? The catalyst was an original spec by Riley, the longtime studio exec at Universal, who pivoted to screenwriting and producing. And Hemp, a producer on Hellboy who also worked on Jungle Cruise, among other films. Matt Riley and I grew up playing Atari 2600 and remained fans since. The best Atari games dropped you into a world and your imagination do the rest. Huh. Have you played the Atari? Yeah, I had. I didn't have one when I was a kid, but we would rent it all the time. I never owned one, but so as a writer, what has Carl Hemp done? Anything? Nothing. Nothing as a writer at all. Matt Riley as a writer? What has he done? Assuming this is the same guy. Huh? Is this the same guy? It could be a different Matt Riley. It could be a different guy. Maybe if I put in Asteroids, because I do recall, I think Asteroids was already announced that it might. Is this the future one? I don't know if this is the same one. Have you played the Atari? Were you old enough to play that when you were a kid? Matthew Riley. Matt Riley. I'm gonna try Matt Riley. I don't think this is the same guy that they're talking about. So Riley was a long time exec at Universal. So whatever Riley this is, it's like he doesn't have any writing credits. This is the first thing he. So the guy left to be an executive and wrote a spec script for an Atari game, and then actually got picked up. I don't think this is the same guy at all. This is the right producer guy, but upcoming new. Ah. Yeah, also right, like I said before, uh the guy who got cast as Ganon signed a multi-picture deal, so they're gonna make multiple movies probably. I don't remember if they've announced that for these two actors, if they sign a multiple picture deal as well. I'm not aware. Well, I've covered the gamut of what game adaptation news has happened. So I do want to ask uh, the AI one thing about who BioWare could go with. Who do you think? Who do you think should buy BioWare? See, Larian. People are saying Larian, but I'm like, would Larian work? I kind of do want Microsoft just to buy them because they already own BioWare, and I think MS would just buy it, and then not. Microsoft would buy them and then just let them be, like before. People are saying Larian, but Larian, I think, would rather focus on its own Divinity IP than make games for other IPs. Considering it just did that with Baldur's Gate 3, which they don't own, but it was an amazing game, and it is. But Larian would rather go back to make their own stuff. Microsoft, Sony, yeah, I don't want Sony to buy them. Tencent would suck too. But I don't know. Tencent might just buy them. Tencent owns like a tiny little bit of so many different like developers or studios. So it's like they could own a part of them, but then just leave them alone. Like Tencent just seems to like buying up everything. I would rather just Xbox buy them, just so they're there. Larian doesn't need them, but who is this? Who does the AI say should definitely not buy it? Yeah, any Saudi back shit can just fuck off because those guys are doing some shady shit. I don't care. Whatever they're up to, because they're buying other types of companies like that in over here in North America, and I don't trust anything they're doing. Ubisoft, absolutely not. Take-Two, who already owns Rockstar, so Rockstar is basically all you need to own. It would just get overshadowed by GTA and Red Dead Redemption. I don't want like a pretty big blockbuster IP. Or maybe to me, maybe Mass Effect isn't a big blockbuster, but to me, it would be good if they come with their IP. If they come with their IP, well, I guess it's coming with them. They own it. Or I'm hoping that they actually own the IP too. I don't know how that works, but all the reports are saying that they're looking for a home for the company and the IPs. And I don't know if you can do that separately. That'd be weird. You could buy BioWare, but someone else would own their IPs. Then BioWare would just become like some support studio or some shit, which would suck. But they haven't come out with any great games like they did like 10 years ago. Oh, yeah, well, whatever. EA just EA just died. So EA is officially dead, so they're gone. I wonder how that affects all the different studios. Like I used to work at EA in Burnaby, and I'm wondering, is that whole area going to be shut down or just like lots of layoffs? Oh, by BioWare? By BioWare back. Yeah. That's a great idea. A group of former BioWare veterans like Mark Dura, Dave Gator, Casey Hudson, and other developments from a new RPG company. Yeah, that'd be great. They form a brand new company of all the people who used to work there. That'd be great, but that's like too good to be true. Well, I've been on for an hour and a half, and I've officially run out of topics to cover for this week. But as a recap, Sam Neill, in what might be his last on screen role ever, was just cast in the secret role of Legend of Zelda, probably the King of Hyrule. And Yvonne Strahovski is probably going to play the Queen of Hyrule. And Dishin Dogface is going to be playing Impa. We already know that. I don't think that's officially been announced, but based on the pictures of her from behind the scenes, it's obviously Impa. I'm going to wrap it up right there. Noble Bull, thanks for watching. Thanks for being here. Thanks for liking. Thanks for sharing. This is Tgan Live episode 27, signing off.